What's up, guys? Welcome back to the JP and Trav show on the JP and Trav YouTube channel, live from Travis's X account. As always, it's your host with the most, JP, and to my right, I have my esteemed co-host, brother, and friend, and for the first time, world champion,
World champ,
Travis
baby. World
Davidson.
champ. World
Travis,
champ.
Travis, should I even ask you how you're feeling right now?
Feel like a world champ. It's a feeling I've never had before, but feels good. Feels real good. So excited to see who we will add in this year's draft. But yes, but went out to the parade yesterday. Um, be on radio every day this week. So um, you guys put up one heck of a fight, and got us all the way to 7 games, but you said it yourself. Yeah, I was just happy to be there, happy to be invited to the party. We needed to win the thing, so we, yeah, we are world champions and set up incredibly well. Not that I'm not guaranteeing a repeat or anything like that, but we're gonna have all three of our big three extended this summer. The entire team is under contract, so knock on laptop, if we can remain healthy, no reason we shouldn't be back around.
Yeah. Um, First of all, before we go anywhere else, uh, shout out Jeremiah Fears, getting
Mm-hmm.
drafted number 7 to the Pelicans. There were certain people, I'm not going to name names, but there's certain people within the Oklahoma fan base that said that Jeremiah Fears wasn't a top 10 pick, wasn't a lottery pick. What they gonna say now? Jeremiah Fears had an incredible year. Um, and speaking of the draft, and then I'm going to dive a little bit, obviously, into the NBA Finals. As painful as that's going to be for me, I'll do it for you guys. Um, Sam Presti's a sicko. He's a sicko because we knew this before. Obviously, all this happened, but the team he's already constructed and built, they had one of the greatest NBA seasons ever, probably a top 5 NBA season ever, right? In terms of wins, it still has everybody pretty much under contract, and this dude has 2 first round picks. Are we for real? Like,
Yeah,
this is just it's sickening. It's
he's got
sickening.
15 over the next 7 drafts.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's
It's
crazy, so what's
actually
crazy
sickening.
is it's so funny to me. Like our society, the NBA, the NFL, major sports leagues, all this, they have no patience anymore. They will, you know, they'll fire a coach a year after being NBA Coach of the Year. They'll fire a coach 2 years after winning a title. They'll fire a GM if he's got a bad draft, or they'll do whatever. Like everybody's got to move on, right? It's always fire
Yeah,
this guy, fire this guy, fire this guy. Thing is, Sam Presti, long tenured GM, 17 years, right? Young, kind of, mad scientist, as Porter said. But he was given time by ownership. Given time after it didn't work. There are a lot of owners that would have fired their GM after the 2012 didn't work out, or maybe
right.
even after 2016 didn't work out. Like, but it's patience. It's remember, and all these people last year were like, man, you gotta trade J-Dub, you gotta trade Chet. Like they were even saying it this year, like, man,
That's
you've got
crazy.
so many firsts. Why are you not cashing them in? You've got to cash them in. You got to go get, Cam Johnson, or you got to go get package them all for Giannis or anything like that. And like that's the reason he's successful, is because everybody who's in such a now me, we got to fire this guy, fire this guy, fire this guy, all that society, and that mentality is exactly why Sam succeeds,
Yeah,
because he's an outlier in that. And in a world of everybody trying to fire everybody and sell teams and trade players and give up your depth and leverage your, mortgage your future to go get a 37-year-old Kevin Durant, like want to do all that, like instead of just being patient. Just be patient. You'll have youth, you'll have depth, and I mean, I know everybody watched the finals. What did it look like? It looked like 2 teams that went 10 deep with a bunch of athletes.
yeah,
There's a reason that, you know, Denver only trusted 5 people, right? And they ended up getting hurt. and then the Lakers didn't play any bench players in the second half of a game. It's insane. And then Tom Thibodeau often running his teams into the ground. Like the teams that were the youngest, teams that had the best depth, and then that were able to throw waves at you, and they could be physical on defense because they had somebody else that they could bring in if the first wave got in foul trouble. Just
Yeah.
another body, throw them out there. So that's the thing. I feel blessed with Sam Presti because he understands that. He's like, man, just be patient. Just be patient.
Yeah.
All these other people trying to start over every 2 years, they're going to be they're trying to microwave a championship. You gotta cook a championship in the oven. You can't microwave a championship.
Yeah. No, you guys definitely have. I'm pretty fond of Kevin Pritchard up here. Like, I think he's a top 5 GM. But you guys, I think, definitely have unequivocally the best GM in basketball in Sam Presti. I don't think anybody can deny that with, again, a championship with the room to potentially add more and the amount of just capital that this man has to deal with, whether it's just getting fresh assets, right, in terms of like, man, another wave of first round talent, or, eventually if he needs to, packaging those in a trade for, another marquee player should they need it, or more depth. There's just a lot of, he's afforded the Oklahoma City Thunder so many things to do with as much as capital that he's acquired. So he's unequivocally the best GM in the sport right now. I
Yeah.
did want to touch on Game 7 for a little bit. Obviously, congratulations to Oklahoma City Thunder. Like I said, on top 5 seasons in the NBA, just in terms of obviously the wins, and 68 wins in the regular season, 84 all time. I think it's like fourth or third all time in the NBA. Great job, for real. It's hard for me because while I do think that there's every reason to believe that the Thunder absolutely still could have and would have pulled out of Game 7. It's hard to see the way Tyrese Halliburton started. And when he starts that way and plays that way, we are even harder to beat.
Mm-hmm.
It's just hard to see him go down like that and to not know. And not even from the fact of like, oh, the Pacers for sure would have won, because I'm not saying that. But I do think, unfortunately, it even for stupid people that want to put an asterisk, even though there shouldn't be one, there are going to be people that say, "Oh, like, well, we for sure would have won." What I think is we just missed an potentially all time game that I think the air got deflated. Like, I know that the Pacers still went into halftime up 1, but it's clear that there was the balloon got popped, bro. Like, it's clear. And it just sucks because I think it would have even meant that much more. Obviously, it means a ton to you guys now, but it would have meant that much more if you guys beat the Pacers from a 30-point, 10 assist Tyrese Halliburton performance, where SGA still outplays him, and the Thunder, win a title, again, completely legitimized in anybody's eyes. But it also just sucks for us because it's like, dang, the way he was going, man, it felt like we had a chance. And obviously, nobody gave us a chance to begin with. And so to get to Game 7 and to be feeling that good in the first quarter, just to see it all, like, I had plenty of friends that were at the field house,
Mm-hmm.
and they said, like,
Our boy was there.
who?
Our boy was there.
Yes, he showed he had
Somewhere.
to be. He had to be. But it was almost sold out. I mean, it was almost 18,000. It was like 16,000 people, and like it was a real game. And my friend said, like, as soon as they showed the replay of the Achilles popping, it went dead silent, like dead silent.
I would have
And
thrown up. Like,
yeah, and it just sucks. But all that to say, I'd be remiss if I didn't point out SGA. Not only again just is he a dog on the floor, but what he did checking on Tyrese not only when it happened, but even like I don't know that I would have ever heard of a player, an MVP type of player, caliber player, just winning NBA Finals MVP and going to the opposite, the opponent's locker
Training
room
room. Yeah.
to check on the star player that got hurt. That alone, that alone, like that makes me an SGA fan. As upset and I'll stand on it. We can talk about it another time. I don't love the push offs. I don't. But regardless of that, genuinely, it makes me a huge SGA fan because the truth is, regardless of those or not, he's a freaking dog. Like you don't average 30 just because of that. He's a dog. He's one of the best NBA players. He's going to be one of the best NBA players for sure in this decade. I think has an opportunity to be one of the best NBA players, of all time, like top 25 ish, if he keeps going at this rate. And the way that he again showed that sportsmanship speaks volumes of who he is and his character, and also even what he did at the parade, walking down the streets, letting people touch he just has a pulse. I think he's a special kid.
Yeah, he like he's always everybody's like, oh, he's nonchalant, and part of it is he puts it on because he knows he's in charge of the team. And one thing that I always went back to during the Minnesota series was like the entire team follows the leader, whether that's a good thing or whether that's a bad thing, right? And while John Morant is fun to watch because he tries to dunk on everybody and he's got all of his you know celebrations that make the news, and it's great for TikTok and it's great for the highlights and all that kind of stuff. Like threes and dunks are incredible for highlights. Mid-range game, drawing fouls, it's just not good for TikTok. So people
Yeah,
don't like watching it, but is what it is. But John Morant's your leader. Okay, cool. You're probably going to be undisciplined. Like Anthony Edwards is your leader. Cool. I love Anthony Edwards. Like I think he's a blast to watch. He's trying to dunk on everybody. He's trying to,
yeah,
he's walking the streets of LA after eliminating the Lakers, back to the hotel, walking with everybody around him. Like that's the leader of your team. So you're going to lack discipline at times. You're going to have attitude issues with Julius Randle. You're going to have, people disappearing, things like that. Like SGA, they follow his lead. Like they are in press conferences, whatever. They are stoic, they're level headed, job's not finished, like all that kind of stuff. And they follow him. And he's family man, you know. He's respectful everybody. He's checking on the other superstars. Never too high, never too low. People that don't like I get not rooting for him if he's not on your team, but people who legitimately think he's some like bad dude or he's like the villain of the league and all this stuff, like get
yeah.
out of here, dog. Like get out of here. So,
Mhm.
but anyways, with that, I mean, it might be the best. It might be the best sports photo I've ever seen, and I completely understand that I'm biased in this, but the championship bus that says NBA champions with Shea doing one of these and looking up to the sky with the Oklahoma City Memorial in the background is the craziest photo. Philip Dew, I think was his name. No, Jimmy Dew was his name, who got the photo. And it's just like an iconic
That's
shot.
cool. That is
And
cool.
it's that kind of stuff. The bus number is number 30, and it was 30 years after the bombing. Like
Wow.
crazy stuff. Crazy
That,
stuff.
that that is the cool thing about that I think even just remembering that was 30 years ago, and so certainly a cool thing for the state of Oklahoma, for sure
Right.
that you guys get to share together, and for sure, man, that's awesome. I did want to address. I'm getting it all out. I'm getting it all out right now. I want to address
Yeah.
this. I realized that the game was tied because he had a hard start. Here's what you need to understand though. Him having a hard start, it was going to strike fear. And I know the Thunder's defense is really good, but when Tyrese gets hot, it makes the offense run even better because now you have to account for him as a scorer, and then he can play make. It makes. I'm telling you, it was going that direction. Doesn't mean that you guys wouldn't figure that out because the Thunder again were all-time great NBA team, but that is I guarantee freaking you that is not something any Oklahoma City fan wanted to see was Tyrese Halliburton having 9 points in the first quarter. I'm telling you, because
No,
when that happens, we are 30-2 when he scores more than 20 points, and he had 9 in the first 7 minutes. in the first 7 minutes. Again, you guys absolutely still could have pulled it out because you have that championship DNA, but it would not have been what it was, the 20-point game that it was in Game 7, the way that was going.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was like, oh, man, like their main ball handler and best guard goes down and it's not going to affect the game. Of course, it's going to affect the game. I was upset because it meant more T.J. McConnell, which that boy, nice.
Yeah, but he can't play. He's not a play the whole game. That's not his game. Is playing the whole game, which we saw. Like he's not a.
If you play him the whole game, it is.
You're gonna go 30 minutes and like because he's 6 foot, he gets into turnover trouble. That happens. He's a great 1-2 punch off the bench. That's what he is. That's what he's been his whole career, and he's amazing. But he's not 6'6" and can see past defenses, which is what Tyrese is.
Man,
and Oklahoma City figured it out. That's why they started trapping him off the screens because he's freaking 6 foot.
And then those last couple drives, Chet had finally had enough.
I don't understand why. Again, we're 6 foot. Let's go up on a 7-1 guy that already has position. It's not gonna. There's no rim to protect you. Whatever. But all I'm saying is, okay, it's all right. I'm not gonna get into it. It's okay. You don't know basketball. It's okay, bro. It's okay. We gonna keep going. Yeah, no, woulda, shoulda, coulda. You guys can say that. I just want respect. I just want respect. That's all I came for. Because what I was told was Thunder in 5 from a lot of you, and
you said Thunder in 6.
I did. Which again, Thunder in 6 is still respectable take. Saying for a sweeper 5 is indicating that you don't even deserve to be in the series. That's what we were being told. 6 is you win 2 games. That means, hey man, like you're a good team. You can beat us on your home floor. At least we weren't even being given that, which is a fact. We're not going to walk it back now. That's a fact. That's what happened. So we pushed out of 7 games, and our most important player, not our best scorer, but the most important player to our team, popped his Achilles after going 3 for 4 in the first quarter. So I just want my respect. I don't want people to walk up in here like, oh, we cooked y'all, man. We beat you. No, man, keep the same energy. Like just say, hey, man, y'all gave us more of a fight than we expected, man. All the respect, which most Oklahoma City fans have done. But some people want to come up here like I started it. Like I started, all just talking major trash like I wasn't provoked. I was provoked. I just need that to be, in the echoes of history. I was provoked. The Denver game, Travis, I was not provoked. I went in there talking trash. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, he was doing all the provoking.
That's not true. It's not. Nobody. We bring it up all the time.
People at the Denver game, I'm saying.
All the time. What are you talking about? Are you
saying
you don't bring up DeMarco getting hurt? Are you serious? Or Jermaine?
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. I was like, what?
No, sorry. This guy. Saying nobody cares. You still lost, bro. Okay. All right. Kirby just hates y'all, though. He hates to say to Oklahoma. He's an Oklahoma football fan. That's not where I'm at. I agree with this, Trav. I'll give it back to you.
Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, we'll be able to get a good player at 15. I was hoping Colin Murray Boyles, we'd move up for him. I like Cedric Coward. It's feeling like Derek Queen might be there at 15 for us, and if the Thunder draft somebody named Queen, then Kirby's just going to make the same joke until he's either out of the league or we trade him or something like that. But yeah, I think with us, especially the way the new CDA is set up and that second apron, like we might go into it with Hartenstein and with Lou Dort, their club options coming up in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody today on the text line, they didn't know Laurie had signed an extension, but he was like, I still think we can't stand Pat, man. We need to put some assets together and go trade him for Laurie Marketing. I'm like, We
What?
we we can't afford that. Like what do you like? You can't just like the numbers matter, the money matters, and we're not going to go trade picks for a marquee player. We're going to lock up Chet, J-Dub, SGA, all with extensions this summer for the next 4 or 5 years after their current deals.
Yep.
So then all you're going to do is rotate first round lottery picks for the next 7 years around these guys, and just have waves of lottery, young, athletic, defensive bodies that you can surround the
I
big three
can't
with,
stand you, bro. I can't
and
stand you.
you'll
I
never
can't stand
need
you.
you don't have to go get another marquee player because you've already got your big, you've got your star, ball handler. You'll see how Nikola Topic fits in. Like you can't even go trade for another max player. That's not a rookie max extension. That's not how the money works. I think there are a lot of people that don't understand how the money works in the NBA, or don't know. Maybe they don't know how it's working in the future. They're like, hey, we need to trade 7 of our first rounders for Giannis. It's like, no, you have to match salaries, and then that would put us in the second apron, which is very punitive, and then they can
Yeah.
freeze your draft picks and all this, that, and the other. It's like people put together NBA teams on Twitter like they're doing fantasy drafts.
Right.
You can't do that. You can't do
Most
that.
of the people that do that don't really understand basketball at that level. Like, they don't know. I feel like they don't understand how the pieces fit together. Um, my wife wants me to. Oh, here we go. She already put it in the chat. I was trying to get to it before she said something crazy. um, oh, here's what I was gonna say. Chet, she said that she thinks Chet has had a bad finals, which I think we can all agree
He had a
he
bad
did.
finals
You know
offensively
who,
for sure.
you know who else had a bad finals? Offensively as well, and they probably canceled each other out. Miles Turner. Neither of them played like they did offensively
Miles is bad.
in the regular season. Miles was atrocious. If he even played half of what he normally plays like, then it puts more pressure, I think, on Chet to play the way he maybe normally does. But both of
Well,
them just had
I think one of the
bad
issues
years.
is people pay attention to the offensive side of the ball more than defensive rotations and all that. I mean, when you look at late game 4, yeah, late game 4 where he forced two bad, one, I think he blocked one from Hallie, and then another way short from Hallie, and then he was switching out on the perimeter, Chet was, and
Yeah,
locking dudes up, clamping dude, forcing bad shots. And then he sets a game 7 NBA finals record with 5 blocks.
yeah,
He makes the Thunder defense work. When you have multiple all NBA defensive wings and guards, rotate, 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 pass off, pass off. Well, if for some reason you beat one of those guys to the rim, then you've got a top 3 shot blocker in the NBA waiting for him. I mean, through through the Western Conference Finals, he was 3rd in the NBA in blocks blocks per game. So it was elite rim protector. The offensive game needs work, obviously, but he's got the talent to do it. He's got the skill to do it. He's just got to.
yeah,
I think he's got to remember that he's 7'1" with a 7'3" wingspan and just go dunk everything. When he was doing
yeah,
that in the Minnesota series, and he was just like, "Oh, I can just dunk." It's like, why are you trying finger rolls, dude?
yeah.
You don't need finger rolls. You don't need turnarounds. You don't need to just go dunk the ball. I promise you can go dunk the ball. So
I think that's the most frustrating part for me of Miles not having even the way he played in other series in the playoffs, because it's not just a regular season thing. He shot well in the playoffs, and I know he was sick. I'm not using that excuse. He still should have shot fine. Um, that is the biggest thing, because it didn't pull Chet away.
mm-hmm.
It didn't end up pulling Chet away, which ended up again solidifying a defense that was already statistically, one of the best in the last decade. So it's like when you allow a rim protector to still be a rim protector, and you don't utilize what for a lot of the year was our kind of neutralizer to rim protecting bigs, which was having a stretch 5. He's not going to leave the paint. You know what I mean? So, but, congratulations. Like I said, to Oklahoma State Thunder. Well done. I will be doing my little, bet at some point in time.
Yes, for those of you that forget, JP will be eating a wing doused in Da Bomb Beyond Insanity hot sauce. Some of you know it from the show Hot Ones. This is the sauce that has everybody all the big reactions that are from the show Hot Ones all come from Da Bomb. Like that is the sauce that makes the content. So JP and I are going to do a live pod, probably the Monday before the Temple game. So it'll be in season, and we are going to have JP eat that wing at the beginning of the podcast. So he has to kind of fight the demons while we break down the Michigan game and preview the Temple game. So will be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to that. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
Kirby that one.
Hey man, it's okay. I forgive you. Also, hey man, just be nice, bro. Be kind, because it sucked to see what happened to him, and it just sucks for. I made a TikTok about it. That's the last thing I'll say, and we'll move on to some Oklahoma football stuff. But the city, like it, this is the worst thing. This may be worse than Andrew Luck retiring in the middle of a preseason game, for a myriad of reasons. There's been such a fog here in Indy. Um, it's not that we lost. Like, even if we had lost and we retained everybody healthy, congrats OKC Thunder. The city would still be super happy and looking forward to the future. Man, we went to Game 7 NBA Finals. The future's bright. Like, everybody was super happy. But not only did it feel like, man, we might have a legitimate shot of winning this game early on in that game. Then he goes down, tears his Achilles. So then that's all gone. And then next year's gone too. He's not playing next year, which that sucks worse, because now it's like, now it throws our next, feels like 2 years, maybe 3, into like a tizzy, because the way we built our team was around him. And so what are we going to look like next year? Like, how is it going to flow? We don't know. And is he?
Bro,
If he
it's
comes
TJ's
back,
time.
huh?
It's TJ's time.
Bro, I love how the switch that you made on TJ, but like for real, like even when he comes back, like it. Yes, I know his game wasn't necessarily predicated on like a bunch of athleticism, but he certainly was speedy. He certainly was a little shifty,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So
Well, I
like,
mean, he always pushes the pace. That's the whole.
right,
That's the point,
yeah,
right? You have to push the pace, especially when you're dealing with a team like the Thunder. But that's how you guys made it through the East. Is every team just wore down? They're like, man, we're sick of running with these dudes. So
yeah,
like the Thunder don't mind running at all, obviously, but it's the controlled chaos in which, Hallie operates with. Now, I think you guys should feel really good about what you got in Nemhard. I think you guys.
yes, yes,
I think Benedict Mathurin's got a bright future if he
mm-hmm.
can kind of I don't know just develop, continue to develop. He's a young player, so just continue to develop. But I mean, fearless, good looking athlete. He can shoot. He's a little bit of a streaky shooter, but he can make them. So like that'll be interesting because the East next year, bruh, like the East is ridiculous. It's wide
Wide
open.
open, wide.
The
Jason's
the
gone. Hallie's gone. There are Damien's gone. Who knows where
yep.
Giannis is going to be right now? I
And
mean,
Boston just shipped out the rest of their team, so it's not like they're like
yeah,
can run it
yeah,
with Jalen. So it's
yeah,
like the Knicks still don't have a coach.
yeah,
So the East. That's why part of me, like when I was on radio today, we were talking about Jeremiah Fear's draft position, and I'm like, man, I'm like, I I just hope he goes to the East because the East, you can be an all-star in the East. You can be like, Cade Cunningham and
yeah,
Paolo and all these guys that are just like, cool. Yeah, they're good players, but like they're not taking a team deep in the West. Like just not doing it. Not in this
yeah,
version of the West.
yeah.
and you've got the Spurs that are extremely interesting, obviously, with Wemby and their now guard trio after their pick today. Mavs. It won't be this year, but next year they'll be good. I don't think Kyrie's going to come back halfway through, fresh off an ACL, and then who knows if Anthony Davis can stay healthy. Flag in year one.
Hmm.
You got aging Clay. I don't know. Like, I'm sure the Mavs will be fine, but like everybody talked about how you know everybody Wemby was the generational one, and he hasn't made it to the playoffs in his first 2 years. Granted, he's been hurt, but like I don't I wouldn't just sign up the Mavericks for a championship run in year one.
Right.
In year two, it could be good, but you've got to get two injury prone stars to not be injured as they age, coming off more
Yeah.
injuries. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We will see. We'll see what happens. I appreciate that, Sheed. I'm not. I won't be dancing for a minute, bro. This gonna sit with me for a little bit. I'm gonna need my Oklahoma football to do something, figure it out because yeah, it's gonna sit with me. But speaking of Oklahoma football, Trav, it seems like Oklahoma's heating up a little bit on the recruiting trail. Can you give us some thoughts on, obviously we've seen some crystal balls go in and there's a lot of things. Obviously our boy Hayes put in a couple horses for the Sooners, saying, hey, there's some things going on. So tell us your thoughts, man. What's going on?
well, it was interesting because with Bo Bentley's commitment, you were like, man, we're about to roll off a bunch of them. And we have picked up some commitments for sure. Um, I was really bummed about Dallas Dickerson choosing Kentucky. I think that's a flip prospect down the
Yeah,
way. Obviously, we lose an interior offensive line prospect to TCU. I think it was Parker that was saying that he he was scared off by OU's interior line depth because they've been recruiting interior line well over the last couple cycles, and like he wanted to play early. I'm like, bro, you're a 3-star interior offensive lineman. You expected to go to OU and play early? Like, okay, interesting. But yeah, I think Jake Kroll, the 5-star defensive end, I wish he would announce sooner than October, but it's all going to come down to wins. You have to win football games this year. We're betting the entire class on it. We'll go back and bark up the Jonathan Hatton Jr. tree from A&M. We'll continue. Davian Gross would be one that we want to keep locking down. But yeah, I mean, there's so many factors working against OU right now. You need to go win 10 games. You need to go
yeah,
win 10 games, and everything will fall into place.
yeah,
And I do think the 2027 class is going to be insane. Like, I think the 2027 class, I think Peyton Houston's going to be the quarterback in that class. You might have the opportunity to land the number one defensive lineman, interior defensive lineman in the class. I mean, one of the top offensive linemen in the class, a couple of the top offensive linemen in the class are here in Oklahoma. So,
yeah,
in Penny from Bixby, and then Cooper Hackett from Fort Gibson. So,
yeah,
I think, and then Samaj Stanford in 2027. He's a big time player. Moved from Jinx to Broken Arrow. Yeah, you're set up. You're set up to really take off recruiting wise in 2027, but you have to take advantage of Mateer and Arbuckle riding some momentum and getting 10 games. You got to take advantage of a defense that's going to have a lot of NFL players drafted from it.
yeah,
Like, you're talking a decent draft class. Marvin Jones Jr., Grayson Halton, Dominic Williams, R. Mason Thomas, obviously, RSJ, Gentry. I mean, you're talking, you could have 7 or 8 defenders taken in the NFL draft.
yeah,
So you need to take advantage of this year so you can load up the rest of the 2026 class, finish off with Jake and a couple others. But 2027, it needs to happen. If you don't win, if you only win like 8 games this year or something like that, I don't think that's going to be enough for people to be like, okay, we're ready to trust this staff that they're gonna build on this. So, but Bo Bentley. Bo Bentley's been big. He's a peer recruiter. I think he'll probably end up a 5-star personally because I think he's going to just have that much insane production. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
uh, it's got to be a 10-win season.
No, I agree. I mean, I think he could get away with 9. I think 9, in my opinion, is the threshold, especially with the schedule that we have. I think 9 is obviously borderline playoff contention. 10, I think, for sure gets you in. So, I think either one of those could work, in my opinion. The other thing I was going to say is, and please hear me when I say this. I'm not saying recruiting in this day and age doesn't matter, because it does. Obviously, it's good for the optics of the program. Obviously, building from the high school ranks is still going to be very important. Even
Yes.
if this class is not what we want it to be, if we have a good year, one, like Trav said, that kind of fixes itself. But you also now in this era have the transfer portal to fall back on. Not that that's what we want to do or where we want to live, but especially with a guy that has a background in scouting, right, at the NFL level, and obviously Senior Bowl. Again, not that he can't scout high school players, but I would imagine it's maybe more in his niche, Trav, if you're following me, to
Of
scout
course, of
players
course.
that are already in college programs, and he's been doing that for years at the NFL level and at the Senior Bowl, and seeing maybe what traits they have or don't have. And again, not that he can't see that from a high school perspective, but he's certainly been seeing it from a college perspective already. And so you would almost say the transfer portal may be where also Jim Nagy early on would potentially make his name and make his money. And so all that to say, even if the 2026 class doesn't end up being everything we want it to be, it's not the end of the world, because again, it doesn't have any actual bearing on this upcoming season and whether we win 9 or 10 games or not. Um,
Correct.
but but there is a world in which, hey, we don't have a great class, but we have a good year, good transfer portal, and have a great 2027 class.
Yeah, and like I agree that Nagy is more transfer portal, centric on this, but I also think it will be. I think it'll be a situation where, like, say they identify 50 players in high school that they want to take. They put values to them all, everything like that. Well, if you want to take 30 kids a year between the portal and high school, and you offer 50 high school, and I know they offer more, but really 50 realistic. Like everybody offers the top 3 running backs in the country. Everybody offers the top 3 wide receivers. Everybody, you know what I mean? But I think it would be a situation where if you want to get to a magic number of like 30 additions and you say, okay, we offered 5 corners, we will take 2 corners in this class. And out of those 5, you only get 1. That means that 1 corner spot is missing, just goes to into the portal bucket. And then same thing with offensive line and every position. Just instead of, hey, if you offered 5 corners and you're taking 2 and you only get 1, you don't go offer a 6th high school corner or a 7th high school corner. You don't just keep on going down the line and making offers to other high schoolers. In my opinion, I think you just say, all right, that's a position we go into the portal for. Fine, we missed out on high school, because in the past, if you were recruiting high school pre-portal and you whiffed on some targets, you had no like, think of quarterback recruiting. Like if you whiffed on a couple targets, you had to just go make more offers and hope you could flip somebody or do whatever, because you couldn't just say, oh, we'll find somebody out of the portal. So it's I think we're set up well to make sure that we never really have a down year of talent acquisition, because I think that's where he's going to be able to succeed. Is, look, all he does is scout these small schools and everything like this. It's what he did. He's got relationships all throughout with all kinds of scouts, and that's what they're going to do. So
Michael's muted. Oops. Um, Kirby's still hating. Um,
all he does.
like always. Yeah, I think
So
that
much hate, I need a vacay. It's like a Kanye lyric.
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. Obviously, but Bo Bentley obviously is a big pickup, and we'll see what happens. You know, Kirby making the comment about BYU and 3 stars. Hey, I'm not gonna take it personally, but obviously, basically like my little brother, again, I'm telling you, I truly believe. I'm not just saying this. I got intel on this. He should be rated higher than 3 star one. Two, he just took his visit to BYU this past weekend. Well. However, he's probably waiting until the end of the summer. So to me, that provides Oklahoma more time to convince him, and I think it's pretty clear if he makes a decision to go to BYU, why he would do that, and if he makes a decision to go to Oklahoma, why he would do that. If that makes sense. Like I think the lines in the sand have pretty clearly been drawn, and so we'll have to see what happens there. I hope he chooses OU though. I mean, I think he really could thrive here, truly. But anyways, all that to say, Monty, what's up, Monty? Has a question. Do you think we have a chance of landing Kevin Ford Jr.?
I believe he's going to visit for the Michigan game. I think that's going to be a um, pretty big recruiting weekend. I know a lot of people early on were like, "Man, that's a guy that OU leads for." Some crystal balls winning, I think. But look, I will believe we pull Duncanville kids when we pull Duncanville kids. Like it
Yeah.
just is what it is. Like we've never had success there. Savion Byrd was the last guy that we had any success with, and part of the problem is they've got Oregon ties, they've got SMU ties. A lot of SMU's paying a lot of money to Duncanville people to stay home. So, yeah, I don't expect Kevin Ford Jr. to be a senior, but again, you go win a bunch of games, and maybe somebody like Texas A&M has a down year, which wouldn't shock anybody because that's pretty much their motto.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think Jake Krell. I think Lafayette. I think you got
Mm-hmm.
some other more realistic options at edge. One obviously not nearly as highly rated as Ford, and then another one even higher rated than Ford. So I hope to be wrong. I hope maybe we can just crack down that Duncanville wall and let them all come. But yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in KJ Ford making it to into this class.
Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I think now is the time to kind of unveil. I'm surprising Trav with this as well. Kind of a new segment that I think is nice to do in the off season that I'm excited about. It's going to be called Throwback with Trav and JP. So basically, what we're going to do is I thought it would be pretty cool to look back on some games from the past and kind of
Oh well.
dissect them together. And so we're going to throw up a game, a couple highlights here um, on YouTube. Let me see if we get some guesses on what what game we're gonna be sharing before I share the screen here. Give me some ideas, some thoughts.
So we're doing an old football game.
Old Oklahoma football game. Yep, some highlights. Just to bring back
Hey,
some
we can bring some
current
good mood
action.
in here. Last year's OU Alabama game for sure.
That's true. That's
Um,
true.
the
Yeah.
the uh, the Texas win. Nick Anderson
Mhm.
catch at the end. Um, Honestly, the Auburn win was fun.
It was
Couple
fun.
big plays.
Yeah. I think we will probably end up doing some games from last year, but we're not starting off that way. It's definitely an older game. Um, Literally, crazy enough, a decade ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. Oklahoma versus
No,
Tennessee,
Baker's coming
2015.
out party.
Baker's coming out party. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this together. And I want to hear in the comments, man. Like, give me some thoughts on what was going through your head when this game was going
Also, the
on.
Thunder just selected Thomas Sorber,
Okay,
center from Georgetown, 6'9", 263. He's got a 7'6" wingspan, so that's essentially just a Sam Presti special.
some center, some center depth. I like that, man. Joe Mixon and Samaj P. Ryan. I miss them. I miss them a lot.
Look at this hole. Look at those holes. Look at that
Yeah.
blocking. That's what I
Who's the
miss.
offensive line? What offensive line we working with in
Yeah.
2015? I'm trying to remember. Let's
Oh,
see.
I
We
know.
got good look here. We got Orlando
I know who
Brown. We
coach
got
was.
Orlando Brown. Got what's Nata? No, that's not his last name. What's the Hawaiian right guard? Remember? Ty
Forget.
Darlington's the center.
Hmm.
Our boy Ty, who's a great coach even now.
Yeah, I ran into him the other day. Actually, we started talking about our Jordans. Ty, Ty's a cool dude, man. He's offensive. I think offensive coordinator at no, Switz is offensive coordinator. He's coaching at TU. I know that much. I need to
Yeah.
hit him up.
Deron Neal. That's the guy. Neal,
Well,
yes.
Dimitri just supposed to come to the golf tournament the other day.
Who?
Dimitri Flowers. He's an attorney in Oklahoma City now.
Oh yeah, Dimitri.
Yeah, he's awesome, man.
Yeah. That guy was a beast, bro. Look at this guy about to take the Buccaneers on another ride this year. Big Bake, Austin
I can't wait.
Seibert,
I can't wait to go back there this year.
brother. I'm planning on going too. I am. Got to go down to Knoxville. Who was their quarterback? Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, because he threw it to Sanchez.
Oh. Devontae Bond, bro. You remember Devontae Bond?
Oh yeah,
Man, him and Eric off the edges. Brutal.
yeah, that was nuts. That bend.
Zach
Oh, that was
Sanchez, who now fights with Oklahoma fans almost on the daily. It feels like. Jordan Evans was a dog, for sure. Is that Devontae Bond again? Looks like with
Josh
man, it's
Dobbs.
fun to just it's fun to reminisce, man. Let me see who we working with here. Who's Big 93? Who's that?
Look like a hole to me.
Yeah,
Jeez,
for
guys.
real.
Sorry, my Thunder chat's blowing up.
Man. Kenneth said he don't like what he been seeing in the chat, y'all.
Bunch of Fairweather fans on here.
Yeah, Kenneth, listen, man. We talk about it all the time. It's fine.
We're used to them by now. They just
Oh, Stephen Parker. Man,
the pride of Jinx America.
pride of Jinx. Stephen Parker was good for us, man. He
The
was.
arm straps.
Look at old Bob. Look at old Bob.
I'm about to throw that headset.
What is he mad
Man,
about? What
the
is
old
he
school when we were with Nike, the Nike Big 12 coaches polo. Oof.
Oh, that was a fumble. That's why he was mad because he wasn't down. Let's look at it. 10 years ago, was the call correct? Nope. That's a fumble and a touchdown, but they didn't call it. We were down. Y'all remember we were down.
Hey, if they would have called that a fumble, we wouldn't have got our finish that launched Baker
That's
Mayfield
true.
into stardom.
That's true. What quarter is it right now? Third
How was
quarter.
a Samaje Joe Mixon,
Baker
Baker
Mayfield
Mayfield team
offense.
ever down 17-3 against these bums, anyways.
It was Lincoln Riley's first year as the OC. It was choppy at first for sure. But yeah, 3 points through 3 quarters is insane. With the talent we had, man.
Ryan, it's not my phone. I need to I need to mute the conference. It's my computer doing it.
Right.
It's my messages app on my computer. My phone's silent.
Um,
But if I
this is
mute this, I think I mute JP, so I don't want to do that. But
yeah. This is a new segment we doing. We watching some throwback classics this summer, so that would be a fun thing to do and reminiscing. Go ahead, Trev.
Philip Lassiter, delusional Dallas fan, says, Travis, what away game are you most excited to go to? Mine is Bama, but haven't been to Tennessee. Looking forward to get. Honestly, I think mine's Tennessee, man. I'm gonna go down there with the Vol Navy. My boy Heath in Atlanta. Gonna have the boat pulled up. I'll be really excited about that. I mean, obviously, Bama will be very cool. I've been to South Carolina for a game before. That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to go back there, but it's got to be Tennessee for me. I think that's pretty common amongst most people. Sorry. Sorry.
Tennessee, you said it's gonna be the funnest.
I think that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah, I would agree with that. With Durant getting upfield, we're still down 17-3, 10 in the fourth.
Yeah, see, we should have fired Lincoln Riley on the spot, bro. Oh, what were we thinking? 3 points. 3 points in the fourth quarter against this Tennessee team.
This is the Samaj P. Ryan touchdown here, isn't it? Boom. Hey, this is the start of that Mayfield magic, man. Him extending plays. And Samaje had underrated hands, man. That's why he's a third down back in the league now.
Mm-hmm.
That man's a tank.
Yushu was well on his way, man. He was going downhill fast. He keeps
Yeah,
on getting worse every year at USC too. So
what happened at SC?
he starts
Hey,
off with a
man.
bang, but then it goes down.
What, Boomer 129, what are you saying, bro? As if he never saw us not give up. I mean, at least be a better troll. I mean, that's not even a question. Sterling, look at him. Down there in Tampa. That's young Sterling, Trav, man. He was special.
Yeah, they found it with the QB run, just chomping along.
Man, when's the last time? I mean, okay, I'm not going to do that. It's hard to compare backs to Samaj and Joe, bro. They're both special. Oh, did he? Did he get rid of Benny Wiley?
Yeah, he just got announced yesterday.
Hmm.
Yesterday it was announced that Benny Wiley took a job in Huntville, Texas high school.
High school.
So he goes from OU to USC to Huntville High in Huntville, Texas. The Bearcats with a K.
Interesting.
Oh, what a catch. What a catch.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's
What a
why we're
catch.
doing this, man. Wow. Sometimes you got to remember the plays that were made in that game. D.D. Westbrook. You almost forgot that D.D. was on the team in 2015 because he wasn't himself.
Dribbled it to himself.
Man, that might have been the game if he lost that. How many times did we go split batch with those two, man?
So much. So much. Because
Why wouldn't
Samaje
you?
was such a devastating blocker.
I always thought that Joe should have kept that. if you watch the replay, I don't know, they're not going to show it, but Joe had a wide open lane. Another split back set, match protection. Oh, just gorgeous, bro.
Good.
Just where were you at, Trav, watching this game? Where was you at? Remember?
I was at Trey's Bar and Grill. We opened in 2014.
Oh,
And 20 so we opened in fall of 2014. So 2015 was our first like full football season to have. So this was one of the first big OU games that we had, and man, it didn't disappoint. That's for sure.
it's amazing. Got both feet down too. Now here we are in overtime. Looks like we let them score. Boom. Rest in peace to Trace. Boomer Gooner says.
That's right. That's right. Those are the good old days.
Oof.
Oof. Hit him with that dead leg.
Yes, he did. 4th and goal. Oh man, I forgot about this. Shake and bake. That's when it started, man.
Fantastic block from P. Rhyme.
I'm sure they'll show the replay. I'd like to see it. Here we go. Oh yeah, beautiful. You didn't make that block, man.
Yeah.
So we get the ball back. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. I know it happened to end the game. I'm trying to remember how we scored. Oh, get off of me. Oh, yes. Oh, that was so nasty.
It's one of my favorite freeze frames. The sideline hurdle that he had. That's one of my favorite pictures in OU history.
Oh my gosh. It was so fun. Look at this. Simple out route. Guy falls. He said, whoop, skirt. Jumps over him. The balance, man.
They've got to show. Yeah.
Oh, man. Just filth.
Gamers, man. Gamers.
They were. A bunch of them.
Yeah, he's about to go. He's about to go up to the opposite side of the field, and Sanchez is going to pick him.
Yep. Zach Sanchez were good for picks, man, for sure.
Oh, wait,
no, yeah. That one could have been.
He goes to the top side of the field.
Mm-hmm. I think it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it.
No, this is it. Yeah, boom. Game. Ah. Hey, if you watching this, you know, matter of fact, I may put it out on Twitter. Go ahead and I think this is something we'll probably do the rest of the summer. Put in when I put it out on Twitter, comment below what games you guys would want to see, and I'll try to find the highlight videos because obviously those are much shorter, like 10, 12 minutes, which we can do, and we can answer. I think it'd be a fun way for us to answer questions while we're watching it. I think it'd be cool. But let us know, and we can do that. Next week is Trav's week. I'm gonna let. Oh, that's when Bush Jones. You remember that? Remember when Bush Jones got mad at Eric Stryker? What he said? Have some class. Have some class, man.
Stryker wasn't hearing it. He's ready to fight everybody in there.
He was. Now I'm gonna let Trav pick next week's, whatever one he wants to do, and then we'll do that, and then we'll go from there.
Nice. I'll be keeping it probably pretty recent because remind us that we're not too far removed from some success.
No, not at all. It's just fun to reminisce sometimes, Trav said he don't want to talk about Lincoln Riley no more. That's what it is. He don't want to look at the Lincoln Riley years.
Yeah, I do one or two in there, but
yeah. No, I think it seemed like you guys liked it, so we'll make sure we continue that. Something that I've been thinking about for a minute. thought we could do it with the crew.
Absolutely. And by the way, while you're in there commenting on the video afterwards of what you want to see, like the video. We've been getting
Please.
an embarrassing small amount of likes for the over 1,000 people that are in here. So like the video. It's free. You won't get you won't get spam emailed or you won't get notifications or anything. All you do is like the video. Nothing crazy.
Yes.
So
Yes. Go do it right now. Don't take that long. Go to YouTube. If you're on X, just go to YouTube, click it, like it for us. Even after the fact. If you're watching it after the fact, go like it for us. But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, Trav. Congratulations, man. You got anything else to say besides Thunder Up? I'm sure.
world champs. Give JP his respect. World champs.
Boomer.